All right, welcome back here to Calling Audible.
Salut.
Your hair looks good.
Thank you.
No,
Hey, Mo, awkwardly tell us about your hair.
Getting a haircut in 3 weeks. Let it
Also,
grow.
awkwardly tell us
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Okan. Looking forward to this episode. Co-host of this podcast.
Salut. Simon. He goes too happy with this. I write the Division 4 articles. I play in Division 3, so if you might have seen me on the field already or will in the near future.
I'm Peeze, and I am an exceptional cuddler.
It's true.
All right.
I'm
Okay,
Eagle.
so
I'm the idiot who came up with the introduction.
yes, thank you. So because our website's down, is it back up yet or no? This podcast is really going nowhere.
All the way.
All the way up.
All the way down. All the way. That's it. That's all I had for this.
It's a good thing we're not streaming off our website.
No. All right.
Who be the best podcast of all
Div
time?
3 has a very heavy influence of.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
Is it?
Give it like a minute.
Can you lower the volume
is
of the
how
music,
long
please?
we have for the music. So
Can you lower the volume of the music, please?
you have a switch
I
on your
can't hear
headset.
myself think.
Yeah,
But
but
I don't have a lot of thoughts.
then they can't hear us over the music either. So even if I lower my headset,
They can. It's just that you need to lower your B level. We've talked about this.
we have not.
No, it doesn't work, dude. Oh, that's not my headset.
Yeah, I think it's my headset. My headset is. Oh no, you screwed up my headset now.
This is the quality entertainment our viewers
Yeah.
expect.
Oh,
Well,
we're waiting for the website. Is it up or not?
Is it up yet or no?
Or not, Eagle?
All right, we're good. We're good.
You're lying.
I swear to God, I'm looking at it right now. It's still slow, but it's there.
You know what's slower than that?
Things we can't say on radio.
I was about to say you on the.
Unfortunately, it's still loading up here. Okay, so Div 3.
Yes.
We have teams like the Blue Chips, Commission, Tats. All teams have moved up.
A lot of teams that moved
A
up.
lot of teams moved up here. Is this one of those unpredictable divisions? This like where we don't really have a true, definite favorite to say, hey, I think they're going to be the favorites to win this from start to finish.
I believe so. Looking across the division, there's so many teams that moved up that are now like sort of unknown quantities that we don't know if they're going to be good from moving up from Div 4. There's a lot of teams returning with a sort of new Division 3 roster because their old roster doesn't fit anymore. A lot of franchise Division 3 teams that are just
Hanging around.
hanging around. We believe they'll be good, but we don't know. I saw the Battle of Top Sauce against the Brotherhood this week. It looked horrible.
By battle, you mean the boredom?
14-12.
That was a
Was the
bad
final
game.
score.
I
It
watched
was-
that.
I formation.
Both defenses played great.
Talk
both,
about the I formation.
oh yes, the Brotherhood ran somewhat of an I formation a few times with Quasi in the backfield, Quasi going in the backfield with TOJ, where they would just like wait for the handoff as long as they could, see where the rusher would go, and
like
then
a draw? Like a draw play?
Yeah, but it worked. Like Quasi had like 50 yards on 5 rushes. Every time he would take the ball, they would run for at least 7 or 8 yards. I don't get it. I don't know how that works, but it worked, and I hope I see it again because I make fun of him every week, and now they're proving me
Well,
wrong.
poor you. You got to play these guys again, huh?
Yeah, I know. It's a reality check for me every season when I play the Brotherhood. I realize I'm not very good at football. Every time. Once a year.
Is it like a comparable to a college football example I'll give you is
Notre Dame playing Clemson?
no, like Alabama rolling through Tennessee. Like every
Yeah,
year?
it's a very
That's what it
similar.
is. Like you're the Tennessee of the.
Yeah, we're not Alabama.
No, you're far from being Alabama.
No, but it was a weird game for both teams. Both offenses look very rusty. It's mostly the quarterbacks, to be honest with you. Vince Nardone looked awful.
So it's the thing with Vince Nardone is if things go, he's a fair weather quarterback. If things are going well, it's great.
Well, there was a lot of things here. So Khalil Kerr was rushing, and he was in Vince Nardone's face.
Had a safety, no?
He had a safety.
and 5
I think
passes defended.
he had 5 PDs. Vince thinks he had like 100. He was all up in his face every play, and he was forcing bad throws or awkward throws or stuff like that. And the ones that Vince was able to get away simply didn't get the distance. Like they would go at his receiver's feet or bad throw balls, or he was just not able to do what he wanted with his offense.
But then isn't it on him to adapt his offense in that circumstance?
Yeah, they try to go with like a hurry up offense, but the plays didn't change. So like he wasn't creating space for himself with faster plays, and I think it's something that looking back he's gonna think about. But in this, like in the moment, it's not something that he was thinking about like on the spot.
I thought he was hitching a lot though in his throws. Like he just was hesitating for that follow through and just waited.
He was
that
afraid
split
of people
second.
jumping his patterns and getting
Yeah.
intercepted. And Brotherhood offense also looked at a little bit shaky. They were missing a few guys.
Side Majid wasn't there.
Yeah, Jamal Giddens wasn't playing also.
Theo Ja's running was kept in check though.
He didn't want to run.
Okay.
The one run that he did, he actually
Ran out of bounds.
ran out of bounds, stepped out, and I looked at him and was like, "You're killing your average." He's like, "I don't care." He actually didn't want to get a yard, but he sort of crossed the line, so he had to.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't want to. He wasn't looking to run. He wasn't looking. He was actually looking to just play as a pocket passer and distribute the ball to all his guys. He used everybody well, but they were just not as efficient as we've known Brotherhood to be.
All right, so Peeze, when we look at this Conference A in Division 3, the teams I'll list to you. Studs, Cougars, Brotherhood. Are they the favorites, or do you want to put Trinity and Martin and Le Flag in that conversation as being the five favorites in this side of the conference?
I like Trinity. I have for a long time. I liked them since they're in Division 6. They're a team that's improved every time, every season along the way. But I would favor of the teams mentioned. I would favor Les Stud. Brotherhood, I want to see more out of them than what we saw week 1. They're trying some new stuff in their defense, so we have to see if it pans out.
It felt like a game they didn't really care about. They'll show up, they'll try new things, they'll experience offensively to try to sort of revolve around a few things.
But
just don't.
they'll never put up like 45 points.
No, but
consistently, though.
it's also not like they had a slow-paced offense. They didn't want to run 50 plays.
But so like one thing I've noticed is in the past few seasons, DOJ has learned to slow down the pace of the game and let his defense do the work. And, I mean, he's on the defense too, so it's not like he's not helping his own cause.
His defense is his best offense,
Yeah.
essentially.
Oh, why did you press on something?
I don't know. I ruined your life.
They look extremely relaxed, which is a very good look for them. Like it looked at the sort of team I want to play against, which is kind of fun. But it doesn't mean we're gonna win. We're gonna get crushed. It's a reality check. But we all know Brotherhood's gonna be a contender in Division 3. There's no doubt to that. I think a lot of these moving up teams like Martin and the Flag and Trinity, I haven't seen enough to say that they're going to be a contender in this division because they haven't played the big teams like the Brotherhood, for instance. When you play defense like that, are you able to put up 30 points again?
I'm surprised by Junkyard Dogs. They got dismantled by Trinity.
With a dominant, like a crazy roster that Junkyard Dogs put out. With
Pat Jerome, the one player who was.
How does that team even fit?
I don't understand.
They're missing guys from their.
They had John Williams. They had Inslee Adams. They had Rob White. They had Kevin Wyatt. They had
Blake Butler,
Jordan Rossi, Jason Rossi. They had
Jordan Rossi, Blake Butler.
Blake Butler. They had Pat Jerome. But that offense looked awful.
What's his face there?
What's his face?
Number 24.
Rory.
Rory Simmerdan,
Yeah.
right?
Someone calls him the slow Rory Smith.
But there is still,
Rory the slow.
and not to put more fuel to the fire here, but there's definitely a disconnect with Rory Simmerjan and Jason Rossi.
Yeah, there's something there.
Because Jason Rossi threw a slant and Roy didn't run it at the right distance or right depth, whatever it was, and he chewed him out because it was pick 6 at that point. And we can go back to the Fall Cup where I remember this because I was scorekeeping in one field and they decided to call it with 4 plays left, and Roy like spazzed out, completely like upset. Like, why are you calling it 4 plays left? We could
Because
have
the
made
game
it.
was over.
And anyway, and he was pissed, right? So I don't know if that's going to be a simmering feud that can boil over for them this year. But they have a lot of egos. I'm not sure if they have the mindset to be all on the same ship going in one direction.
I think honestly that's where the presence of Kevin Wythe will help, because Kevin Wythe is just generally a calming presence. He's not a guy who really gets on guys. He's a guy who I think can help sort of control the tempers.
See, looking at that team looking at them play, I felt like this was going to be a very, very strong defense. They have a very good rusher in Inslee Adams. Rob White calls a good defense, and he's able to rally guys around him. They have strong corners in Jonathan Williams, who couldn't play because he pulled his hamstring, but John Williams and Rory Simmerjan. So there's very strong pieces there to play around with, and even you have like Rob White and Kevin Wyatt as your additional slot guys. So it's a very strong defense. but they were allowing guys to just blow past him constantly. And I don't understand how guys like Pat Jerome are getting beat on deep.
I don't know if he cared enough though.
It looked like he didn't, because he was running next to the guy. The ball was in the air, and he wouldn't even put his hand up to try to.
Yeah,
to
it
play
looked like he was very like, whatever, man.
But they were also down by 25 points, and the game was almost over. So there's a little bit of everything, but their offense did not click at all. They were trying.
I just also the thing with Trinity at this point, we're starting to know them, but because they're not like sort of quote unquote FPF royalty, we don't often give them their due.
No,
they're fairly predictable in offense though. We know what the first play is going to be.
So like the Montreal's finest are predictable in offense.
But
No.
there's different
How's
weapons
that?
though.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying is if you focus on execution and you execute well enough, it doesn't matter if you're predictable.
But you know what the first play is going to be.
Yes.
Deep ball, right?
That
The
doesn't
fourth
matter.
play, deep ball. The
No,
sixth
but-
play, deep ball.
But Trinity had a good. They had a good game on offense. They got a few bounces went their way, and they got away with. Like there was 2 balls that were PDs that they ended up catching, right? So those are like lucky plays that go your way. But defensively, Rossi was overthrowing his receivers, and there was always a Trinity player there to pick it up. Like they were just faster than Junker Dogs, and they would get those overthrows into interceptions, which turned the game around for them.
Yeah.
So it's not so much that they necessarily made huge plays. They made some great jumps on like the pick 6 that he was talking about with the slant. That was a great play. But overall, it was more Junkyard Dogs just not playing up to the competition than Trinity having an amazing game, in my opinion.
So in Conference B, we have, I think we have 1 or 3 solid teams or strong teams. Tats, Blue Chips, Bearskins.
Those are the strong teams.
Well, are Dirty Dogs in that conversation? Commission, Jaguars, Big Ballers, are South
Second.
Harmon Institute of Technology the shit? Are they in this or no? For those who know what that is all about. Do you guys know what that's all about?
Yeah.
A great school, by the way.
We both got that question wrong in our other podcast, by the way.
Shut up.
We both thought it was a real school.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Until, but there aren't many strong teams. I think there's really the top, the royalty, and then everyone else.
I think it's going to come down to, like, we need a little bit more time and more info on these teams. I think it's too small of a sample size to say that, for instance, Sweat and Beers are not going to be competitive this season. I think it's too early to say that the Alpha Tees are going to run away with Conference B. There's some good teams, but we're all speaking of known quantities.
I got an unknown quantity for you. What about the Crew?
See, that's...
I rarely get a message from the referee of the game to tell me, yo, you need to see this team. They're incredible.
I don't know.
Go on.
I saw them play.
They're all brand new players.
No,
I said my
Emile
thing and I
Taifer
waited
is
for
a really good
response.
player for them, former McGill player. But
Who?
Emile Taifer, he look, the commission, with all due respect, is not the same commission as they were. Their quarterback play will not go as far as they wish.
Dom
with
Benevento is not yet a Division 3 quarterback. It could be potentially at some point, but it's a tough transition.
But it's a weird mix of players, though. We have Daniel Pierre on this roster.
I think it's just the whole grab whatever free agent talented enough to play in Division 3 you get to form a team. The commission were successful in times where you had strong core together of like Sean Avram, Jordan Lillard. They were bringing in like teams and they would just tack on an extra free agent. But now it's looking like a mashup of free agents instead of a core adding 1 or 2.
Are they going to have a difficult time in 3?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Dom Benevento is going to need to do some learning before he can have a
But
successful season. At
Do
this
some
level.
learning, but he also doesn't have the right guys around him to be successful in Division 3. Like he's not a guy you put in the quarterback with a very strong offense that's already like a well-oiled machine.
But how concerned should Brent Tabakin be? Like, is there like a eject button to say, look, if this doesn't work in weeks 2, weeks 3, and we're 0-3 and we're in a deep hole, does he have enough time to find himself a quarterback that's going to be able to turn the fortunes
I think
around?
the reason they have Dom Benevento as quarterback is because they don't have the answer to your question. They don't have a guy lined up.
So this is going to be like a 1-9, 2, like a 3-win, 4-win team.
Unfortunately, I believe that's the case.
They have
and it sucks because I like the guys on the team. They're good dudes. You know.
They have a lot of strong players on this team. Individually, they're all great receivers, defenders. I just don't think they're going to be able to do much on offense. And unless they find a quarterback now, like you don't have 3 weeks of going 0-3 and then finding a new guy you just plug in, because I don't think there's a lot of these plug-inable quarterbacks out there.
Do you think their defense can hold teams to 2 scores or less?
No, they got exposed.
And they lose every game.
They got exposed last week. What about the Jaguars? They've had some really good success in the lower divisions, and now they are in a big boy division.
I think this is a reach for them personally. I know they got the win first week.
Is there a reason they're not in Division 4?
That's a good question. I think their cap number or their individual ratings may have gone up.
They don't
though.
look like nobody's above. Like they have one guy above 75.
Maybe they want to test themselves in a higher division.
I'm assuming so because even the quarterback cap is not there. So if the whole purpose was to test himself in Division 3, good for you guys. Everybody should do that. It's good. I think it's like Peeze said, it's a little bit of a reach to start playing Division 3. I think Division 4A would have been a great fit for them. They played against LGM and exposed them a little bit. I think LGM is also that sort of team that's going to have a tough time in Division 3.
So, Blue Chips, Bearskins in the West Division, are they the 2 best teams? Is this going to be a 2-horse race with those 2 teams, or we're going to wait till...
No, give me the crew. Give me the new guys. I like.
Why not? Yeah.
But I'm talking about in the division that they're in. For the West.
In the subdivision.
Yeah, in subdivision. Bearskins, Blue Chips.
Well, there's a lot of unknown in the Magicians and Scored Your Girlfriend and the shits who haven't played. There's 2 teams that haven't played yet.
Due to the schedule.
But give me Blue Chips, man. I like Blue Chips a lot. They're fun to watch, and man, we've seen them go on incredible runs before.
I don't disagree with you. I think it's going to be a great team. I just don't want to write out the unknown quantities just yet. I think there could be something there. The Magicians and Olympia Performance didn't play well in the first week. They got destroyed. That doesn't mean the team like Score Your Girlfriend or Score Your GF, if you want to keep it, could be good. They have a lot of good guys on this team. It's that Division 2 team that they had with what was that name last winter? That one Division 2 team that couldn't play well because they have François Rochelot on the team that put him in Division 2, but never played with them.
Oh right, and they got cracked.
But that's them. But they added Arnaud Desjardins as their quarterback. So if François Rochelot actually plays for this team, all their pieces are there, and Arnaud Desjardins plays as their quarterback, and they do have a quarterback because that was the most thing is they have great receivers, great DBs, but no quarterback in Division 2. This could be a strong team. They just haven't played yet, so we don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Dirty Dogs. I know this has been one of those unpredictable forces of nature.
They've unfortunately been more predictable, but it hasn't worked in their favor in previous seasons. I know they've been more successful of late, but I still think that it's going to be difficult for them. And Ryan Lanowski's improving. It's just he's improving. He has a team that needs to play at high division to fit, and it's hard to learn in Division 3.
I think it's the problem with Division 3 when you're not just trying to learn, but trying to be a mobile quarterback that makes plays with his legs first, is you're going to face good rushers or a team with a very fast guy that are going to say, you need to play rusher this game because you need to shut this down. They understand what they're facing, and they're good enough to understand that I can't play corner this game because I'll be more viable as a rusher. Whereas if you're playing, say, Division 6, all the guys are going to say, I don't want to play rusher anyways. Right? So you see more of these selfless players that understand that I'm going to have a bigger impact as a rusher and shut Ryan Lanowski as a runner down. Let him throw 35 times, and we're going to win this game.
I know this team really watches this with great intentions. Les Studs. Huge fans. They thought
love
we
you.
they love me because I picked them.
No, what happened was you're a coward, and you made some strong statements that you immediately backed away from as soon as...
I never picked against them. No. I always like these guys.
No, that's not what you said.
Samuel Caron is just not any good. He's terrible.
That's not me. That was Simon Dagenais.
I don't understand why you ever played for Canvai.
No, that was you.
That was
and
not
then
me.
the following
Can
week,
we get the film
you
on that,
backed
please? I never badmouthed Samuel Caron.
Oh, you did. You backtracked.
I'm
so
pretty
hard.
sure I can find you bad mouthing.
Go fight it right now, please.
That's another team that could have been in Division 4, but decided to move up in Division 3.
Because Samuel Caron's a stud quarterback.
Samuel Caron fits in Division 4 as a quarterback.
Are your Achilles still intact from all that backtracking?
No,
it is.
He's about to pop it. The team most likely fits in Division 4. They would be a absolute contender in Division 4. Division 3, I think this season they'll be good because there's a lot of... Last season was learning for them. Samuel Caron was making mistakes because it was his first season. He's a great thrower of the football, but as a play calling quarterback, he was making
Well, he
mistakes.
has
'cause
2
new.
seasons behind him now.
Yeah, because he's new.
I think he's learned, and I think we'll see a very good version of Sam McCallum.
I also think this is not last winter's Division 3 was stronger than it is this season, and I think a team like the Listade is going to run away with a very strong record by the end of the season.
All right, what about the freshmen?
Just for context purposes, because I noticed this when checking the forfeits this week, their offensive cap is 441.4, making them eligible for Division 4. Yet for some reason they registered 3. No quarterback
That's my
restrictions, none of
studs
that
right
stuff.
there.
Because they wanted to.
That's what we call studs.
And then they lost 32-0.
Oh, freshmen, you mean? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the studs.
This for freshmen. Remember with freshmen again. What was their backstory once again? They got ripped.
They registered
in
for
Div A.
Division A because it was
Right.
the only spot available and got killed, naturally.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
guys. And they were like, no, we loved it. We want to come back. We're like, okay, cool. And then they registered for 3, and then they got killed week 1.
So in theory, are they really like a Div 5A team then?
No, so looking at this team, it's the exact same thing that they had in the spring season Division A. They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
They have some very good players. Individually, they're all very good players. A
Yeah.
lot of them are young. They're not necessarily the tallest guys, but they're good. They're very strong individually, and they're learning the game well, and they're getting way better than they were before. The problem is, if you play in Division 1, 2, 3, even 4, if you don't have a good quarterback to lead your team, you're not going to win.
I was gonna say they
games.
should probably peruse the fields and watch some Division 4 games and pick up someone who's a Div 4 quarterback who can compete in Div 3.
There's this one guy in Division 4 called Simon Shine who doesn't play in Division 3. They should just give him a call,
Yeah.
and freshman will be.
very
What about
Mokan of
commission?
him.
Should they not give Simone Duchesne a call?
Yes,
yes,
also.
absolutely.
Also, I think a team like freshman Simon Shine would excel with, because it's the type of receivers that he likes to play with. Small guys underneath, fast, that resembles a little bit the way Jagerbaum used to be. I think that this would be a great fit, and it will allow freshmen to be competitive week in and week out.
Okay, fair enough then.
There's probably other options, but it's the first one I thought about.
All right, it's now time for our predictions here. Our finals predictions for Division 3 in Conference A. Should I list the teams again, boys? Or are
We have
good?
it.
Okay,
We're-
perfect.
it's
So
back up.
who do you have
We
repping?
may have it.
Okay,
Yes, we have it.
perfect. Who do you have repping Conference A in the finals in Brossard, Quebec?
Lightweight. No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect.
It's
So
like,
rude.
give me Les Stud. I think they make a huge jump this year.
Okay, and for you, Simon?
I can't go looking at this roster and looking at how teams played. I can't go against Brotherhood.
All right, Conference B. Who do you have repping that side?
The Alpha T's.
It's so boring.
I know, but that's what they do.
Have they become
They-
like the Montreal's finest of like the lower divisions of this wrecking teams?
To a degree, yes. But they're moving up. I gotta give them credit. They're moving up each season.
every season they go as high as they can, as low as they can, as low as they fit, which is forcing the system forcing them to move up. But
But you say it in like a negative way. They're actually moving up. But you
Yeah.
say it as like, well, they're ducking the high division. It's not the case.
no, but
They're
to be
making their way
fair,
through the divisions.
last winter they tried to play in they played 3 and 4, and they didn't. Or was it 2 winters ago? And they didn't make their Division 3 team was not good.
Yeah.
So it was fair for them to move back down. I'm gonna go with blue chips against the Brotherhood.
Okay.
Just one thing for Alpha T's. So many of you might know this. We changed the rating algorithm this last season to change them for winter. Alpha T's was actually one of the groups that we analyzed to see where we kind of expect them to fit certain players, how much they should increase or decrease. And we actually consulted with certain teams to get that feeling. So when we actually reran our algorithm, it matched what we were expecting. So
Guinea pigs.
they're supposed
Yeah.
to be Div 3 according to the
Yeah.
way we looked
Yeah,
at it,
that's
and
fair.
it's exactly where we think they're going to do well.
All right. Who do you have winning in Div 3, gentlemen? You have
Give me Alpha T's
Studs.
because they don't lose championships.
So if it's Brotherhood against the Alpha T's, I believe Alpha T's will find a way to win that game.
Because that's the thing they do.
But if Brotherhood plays against Blue Chips, Brotherhood are going to destroy Blue Chips because they just have the right matchups.
well, yeah, because they can.
It's
rush-
just
they can
purely
rush back.
based on matchups. They're gonna win across the board. So to me, Division 3 is gonna come down to who plays who more than is there one team that's gonna beat everybody.
maybe the Bearskins will factor in.
I don't disagree with you. They have with the return of Sasa Papic, it gives them back what they're like the prestige that the Bearskins used to have.
Who didn't play, by the way, in the first game.
Nobody's back. I saw him on Wednesday, sorry. And so they finally have the pieces that made them successful in the past. Hopefully they've improved since individually.
Circle it on your schedule. Week 3, Sunday, January 20th, in Lachine. Blue Chips, Bearskins.
That should be a fun game.
That should be a fun game. A reminder, guys who are playing St. Laurent Monday nights, look out for an email from the FPF due to a schedule glitch, which will now have games that were supposed to be on Monday now rescheduled for later on in the season. Eagle, when will those games be played?
It is the week of March 18th. It's
So-
the Monday and the Wednesday. The dates I
So the
escape
week
me.
of March 18th, the Monday and the Wednesday. Be aware for those who are playing Mondays in St. Laurent in this division. Magic words, please, boys.
I'm happy that Netflix has added Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2
Isn't Bibos 3 coming
this
out?
January.
Yeah, Bad Boys 2 is coming out. That's
Yeah.
why.
Is it 3 coming out?
Yeah.
When's
Well,
that coming
At
out?
some point.
I don't know. They've been talking about it for years.
2020.
Yeah, it's soon though. No, the scripts though.
I mean, 2020 is soon.
The script is like all but set though.
Yeah, but then you have to film it and produce it.
Okay,
Yeah,
relax
that's it.
there.
So 2021.
Who's the Mike Lowry between you two guys?
I'm Mike Lowry.
Stop.
Say it.
Stop.
Say it then. So you don't even know the line, so therefore
Stop.
you can't be Mike Lowry.
Stop.
Mike Lowry.
I can be
Get
whatever
out
I
of
want.
here.
I can be whoever.
Good night, UCF.
Like, have you even seen?
Oh,
the movie?
you see that? Yes.
I don't believe you.
I don't.
Like you were probably like you weren't allowed to go. Like your parents just said no. And to
It's
this
not
day-
my fault. I'm not
to
45 Peeze.
To this day, you haven't watched it because like, oh, my parents haven't allowed.
Peeze, it's not my fault. I'm not 35.
Yeah, and you can watch it now. Though. You're also
But
not 6.
what about the
It's
fact
on
that
Netflix, bro. I just told you.
we're gonna find this film?
Homework tonight. Bad Boys.
No, I have things to do.